raised her and then released her here. And she goes all over, but every so often we see her come down.
And does she always stay on the property?
Yeah, she stays on the property. She actually has a little one with
Yes.
her too.
You seem to be having an issue back there with the loader.
I saw that, or I hear that.
Might be a bit of
We
a
could walk
concern.
back there and see if there's something. Are you mechanically minded? Well, the way it's cranking, it sounds like it is. I'm probably going to propane.
Safety is going to be number one. The animals are going to be number two. We can't have any human mishaps. We're not used to having this many people around. Neither are the animals. We're probably going to have to put everybody behind the perimeter fence when at least we're moving them or trying to load them, just in case there's any sort of mishap or something doesn't go the way it's scheduled or planned. Basically, keep in mind these are not pets. They are wild animals, and they can hurt us pretty bad. So we don't pet them or touch them. And as long as you keep that in mind, I guess we're good.
This has become my life, really, the last 15 years. You basically work holidays, weekends, all those things that other people in normal jobs don't have to do. But you know, I don't even think of holidays anymore. To me, every day is you know, it's another day, and animals need to eat every day, so you just get used to it. Getting everybody fed. And that's always a fun time too.
Yeah.
They love their food. Just day-to-day cleaning and care and maintenance of these animals takes up a pretty full day.
That's wrong, my part. I'm sorry.
I've got 300 kids.
Sorry. Okay. The caregivers are great with them. They've worked with these animals for years, and they're just like family to them.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Huh? Yeah, that's pretty good.
They know each one's personality, all their names.
Okay, well then I gotta shut Obi.
I have to give credit to the people that have been caring for these animals.
See if we can have
Everybody
everybody
move that
kind
way
of
and
move
have them
slowly
go
that way.
While they've had challenges, these animals have been extremely well cared for.
We actually both started working at the Wild Animal Orphanage 15 years ago. We know each animal. We know how they behave. Unfortunately, due to financial situations, we did have to make the decision that it was time to close the facility down because we just are not able to provide properly for these animals at this time.
It's sad to see all the empty cages. You know, in its happier days, this place was a thriving sanctuary for animals with no place to go, and none of these animals can be released to the wild.
Hi, sweetie. Ready to go? Are you ready to go? We received a call from another sanctuary letting us know about the situation at the Wild Animal Orphanage.
Oh, don't worry about Titan.
Eventually ended up talking with the International Fund for Animal Welfare and learned that there were a number of big cats that needed rescue there because the facility was preparing to close.
Even though it was difficult, we needed to find homes for these animals so that they can continue to have a good quality life. They're going to a new facility in North Carolina.
Unfortunately, this is not the first rescue that we've done from a facility that's closing, and it is appearing to be a trend, which is actually not surprising given the economy. We kind of expected even more than we've experienced.
I think I've got the best job in the world. If you happen to enjoy spending your life around animals, if you happen to love doing what I do, which is to really be on the rescue side of animals, it is a phenomenal job.
We've gotten to know these tigers quite well, and they're a great group of tigers.
Are you just waiting on there?
Yeah. Titan, we know, came from a zoo in Texas. Bali came from a shelter. And then Java came from a private owner in Louisiana.
Hey, where are you?
Java, she's a sweetheart.
She's a real sweet, very sweet cat. Gets along great with the boys. She's the one that she had been a pet and basically kept in a backyard. The owner found that he couldn't take care of her any longer, so had to give her, or ended up giving her up.
Titan he's always been just so relaxed. Nothing stresses Titan out. I mean, he's just like Joe Cool, walks into a room, yeah, okay, this is, this is the deal, I'm here, you can all come gather around me now, and it's my place. No matter where he is, it's his place. So very relaxed, very cool.
We do have Bali over there that you can just make out between the barricades there. He is going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Bali, when he first arrived, was really skittish. He's just very scared, basically, of being in a new environment, new people that he was unfamiliar with. He is actually a very, very sweet cat and is a very loving cat.
Yeah.
Titan, who he's housed with, is like his best friend, his best buddy. And we thought,
talk to each other.
Yeah, they talked to each other. They were just like, oh, where have you been, my long-lost friend? And
you would have thought they were litter mates.
Yeah.
How well they got along.
There's no posturing. There was nothing. No, this is my territory.
It was just head rubs and
yeah,
head
completely comfortable with one another right off the bat.
When you start working with wild animals, it's not an easy process to always get them into the cage.
Is he going to go right in for us? Good boy. He's a good boy.
And this particular tiger is hesitant to go in.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay. Here he comes. Here he comes. He's my boy. He's my boy. He's going to go right in, isn't he? Come on. Right in he goes. Right in he goes. Here he goes. I don't think he's going to do it.
You're thinking you probably have to use a dart?
Probably, yeah. Probably going to have to sedate him.
Once we get it down and get it to a point where we can actually physically pick it up, we'll take it into the crate. Oh, getting a little wobbly. It's very common when you're moving large animals like this to have to tranquilize them. Bali went down very quickly and very peacefully. And so it gave us a chance to give a complete exam from head to toe.
You can bring the stretcher in. He's not going anywhere. His pulse is 60. Respiration's 20.
Okay, you got the head.
We're willing to give up doing things outside of work just to be able to help them and to do what they need.
Even though we've been in this 15 years, it's always been, something new every single day.
Okay, turn towards me. Towards me.
It's definitely been the animals that have kept me here as long as I have been.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, pull it out.
The animals need us, and so we're going to be there for them. That's what's kept me here. Being around them, being with them, and being able to provide for them. It's really very emotionally rewarding.
It's really sad for him. It's like seeing family leave and knowing that they'll never see them again. But yet, there was mixed emotions knowing that they were going to go to a good place.
It was very emotional for Michelle and Mary to watch 3 of their tigers leave. These have been part of their family for 15 years.
We're sad to see them go, but at the same time we're happy. We know that they're going to get good care with the people in North Carolina.
We know a little bit about their history. They're all 16, 17 years old. We have 2 males and a female. But the thing that we know about all of the animals is they've already had several moves in their lives. They've been in places that have either had to close because of financial reasons, they've been in somebody's backyard because they didn't know what it was going to entail to take good care of them. And that's what we want to make sure of on this move, that it's absolutely their last move.
Transfers are hard on animals. They don't know what's going on. You can't tell them, oh, by the way, we're crating you up, you're going to go to a new place and it's going to be great. They know that right here, right now, I am someplace that I am uncomfortable. But you know, they're also really resilient, and tigers especially are very resilient.
You know, one of the big problems that we have, especially here in the United States, is it's so easy to be able to pick up one of these beautiful animals.
Anybody can go buy one. You can buy one cheaper than you can buy some dogs and cats. What fuels this problem is, first of all, there's not enough regulation, particularly in states like North Carolina where there's absolutely no regulation whatsoever. It's a free-for-all.
They were easy to transport because they were calm.
Titan is actually drinking her water directly from the bottle.
Yeah. The water container in his cage had a hole in the bottom of it.
That's a boy. That's a boy. Good boy.
He drank right out of the water bottle. So I don't know if this was something that was a learned behavior before, but he certainly took to it like a duck to water, and that's how we got him water every 4 hours.
They've been driving all night long. After about 26 to 28 hours, they're just about ready to find their new home here in Pittsboro, North Carolina. This is an amazing facility. The enclosures that they have here are very large. They have a minimum recommendation of about 4,000 square feet per animal. And for every other animal that they add to an enclosure, they add about another 50% to that. So our 3 tigers are going to have a wonderful new home. Yep. Okay, so I'll meet you down at the gate.
Okay.
But we're home.
Had they been getting along with the three together?
They get along fantastic.
Okay.
They get along fantastic.
Okay. Because the quarantine space is going to be tight for the next 30 days.
Java went from being very quiet, very docile. She talked a lot with the 2 caregivers to, as we got her off the truck tonight, growling, snapping, snarling, roaring.
Never spot.
I know, this is so not like her.
A couple of the cats were fairly irritated. Watching the workers get into the trailer and figure out how to get them out without risk to themselves was pretty interesting.
Over here, good boy.
Bali never changed. I mean, his poor thing is just scared. And that's how he's dealing with it.
Bali let go of a roar within inches of me, and I think part of my soul is still in that truck and trailer. It literally scared me to death. These are amazing and very impressive wild animals. Give yourself just about a half an inch up on God, my ears.
Despite the crankiness, they went straight in. We were really pleased with that because it doesn't always happen that easily.
The minute they saw, the house and the gate, they were in there. And it was okay, that they were getting on to go into a new home. And I think they knew they were going to a new home.
back here at quarantine on day 1 of having everybody actually here. Quarantine is a very small building, which it is a relatively small building for these guys to be in. Good morning, everyone. We have Titan over on this side, and then we have Bali and Java over here. The idea is to get them in and out of here as quickly as possible. Although clearly they had a big time last night because their bed's been moved around. Yeah, and your straw's been all moved. The frustrating thing that you're constantly fighting is that perception that of course it's illegal. Of course these animals are being taken care of in appropriate places. Hi, Carmi! When that's simply not the case. It's not true. It's not the case in the United States in general, and certainly not in North Carolina more specifically.
They sort of circulate the air around their Jacobson's organ, and that's how they get a lot more information from smells than we can get.
The tour groups that come through and you say, oh hey, did you realize you can own a big cat in North Carolina? No problem. There's no laws that prevent it. What do you mean? It can't. How could you possibly own a tiger in North Carolina? Why would you own a tiger in North Carolina? So they're amazed that it's legal.
People are getting them off the internet, they're finding them at various stores, and then they find out, oh, we can't take care of them the way we'd like to. Or sanctuaries are getting them and taking them in and then find out that they cannot keep their doors open for financial reasons. So then we have to find places for these animals, and they're ending up in sanctuaries like this.
So excited.
Of course, people see them as their young cubs, and they're cute and they're cuddly, and they think, oh, we would love to have this as an animal.
They think, oh, this is a cute animal, and they are. They're adorable when they're little. They're adorable, and they'll love me, and I'll raise them, and because I raised them, they'll never be mean to me, and they'll be tame.
Rajaji started out his life as somebody's pet. Eventually that person realized that they really couldn't take care of him.
There's a huge amount of care and expenses just to keep these animals. They get big, and as they get big, they need larger and larger spaces. And people, unfortunately, right now are getting these cubs and putting them in enclosures like this. These are animals that need a lot of space, and they take a lot of work to maintain.
People don't understand what they're in for. Their instinct will override everything because they are still so close to the wild. And it doesn't matter how much you train them, how much you socialize them, they're a wild animal. And if you make the wrong move, you're dead or maimed, but you're very likely to not come out well on that end of things. And people just don't get that. They think, oh, they'll love me, they'll never hurt me. Well, you know, it doesn't go through the heart. It won't go through the head. There's no filter. It'll just happen. It'll happen by instinct. And it's so hard to get people to understand that.
You want to see revert to the wild, try giving them something to eat.
Even if they weren't trying to hurt you. Even if you didn't elicit that prey response, they can hurt you by playing. We really, really want to see these animals as pets disappear from the landscape. It fuels the pet trade. It generates more and more animals in captivity when there are not enough places for the animals that are here now.
You know, once they've been living in this kind of containment, they've lost those skills that would be necessary to survive in the wild.
They don't have the capacity to hunt. They don't know how to stake a territory. They aren't streetwise or jungle-wise, whatever you want to call it. And they just wouldn't survive.
It dilutes the species. Well, people ask us, oh, is that a Bengal? Is that... Who knows? They're a mutt. And that's not the way it should be.
This animal and the animals we're bringing here will be in sanctuaries for the rest of their life. We just don't want to see that. This is not the type of lifestyle that they deserve. We'll never be able to release these animals back into the wild.
They should not be living in captivity to begin with. I would love for people to go into even an enclosure this size and think about living your life here. For an animal that roams miles in their native habitat. This is the best we can do. But it's still not what they were meant to be, and I just hate it. I hate seeing it. It's not, it's an animal welfare issue, it's a public safety issue.
According to our experts, we have approximately 3,000 tigers in the wild right now. And believe it or not, we have twice that number just in the United States in containment, in sanctuaries and in various places throughout the United States alone. So unless we start to do something to really address the issues that we have, this particular species could be extinct within 40 years.
Why do tigers lick their paws
Well, he's just cleaning himself just like any other cat.
In order for us to help save these animals, both in captivity and the wild, to get people to do anything about it, they have to care about what it is that you're doing. And for them to care about it, they have to know about it.
So that's the chuffle, and here it's sort of just the way that some of the tigers will greet us when we come up to their cage.
One of the things I hope people learn when they come here is that animals are who. They're not what, they're not it.
I saw.
When they actually meet them and get their personality, it makes them want to care for them.
Besides being a little cranky, which is not unusual for the first day in quarantine, everyone's doing really well, everybody's been eating, drinking, and so now it's just a settling in period.
It's hard to have a bad day when you work someplace like this.
Hi, Bali. You're actually going to come and say hi, huh? Oh, poor guy. He's been a little more nervous, and so this has been a little rougher on him. Titan, as you can tell, who's chuffling in the background, has been very relaxed, and so we're hoping that Titan will be a nice, relaxing influence on the rest of these guys.
One of the things I think these animals do, they help ground us and remind us of priorities and what's important in life.
Sometimes it's a lot of cat to have in one place, and it's a lot of energy, but they seem to be getting along. Oh, and see, well, here we go. This is what we're hoping, is that Titan will be able to tell him it's okay. See, look, I'm going to lay down on the ground and roll around.
They're real. There's no games. Who you see is who you get. It's just very real and very grounding to me.
Knowing that we were part of taking 3 large cats and finding them a new home. And they were in dire straits, and it truly was a rescue.
We're actually making a difference for these guys in making sure that they get new homes.
Oh, I know, it's very hard to be tigers. I know, it's very hard.
There's very few days in a year that go by where we're not actually boots on the ground rescuing animals, and that is a phenomenal job. I'm very, very fortunate.
I was really happy that they were all able to go in and they were able to leave together.
Right.
And be together.
Yeah. It's always better when you can be with someone else.
Yeah. Especially someone of your own kind.
Yeah.
Every time they stop, we send them an email to let them know that their cats are doing well, and we'll certainly make sure that they know today when they get here safely. How's that for a great soundbite?